There is a quiet fear many people carry after 70. The fear that every year, muscles grow weaker, balance becomes less steady, and independence slowly slips away. Some believe this is just how aging works. They accept that what once felt simple, climbing stairs, lifting groceries, rising from a chair, now feels heavy and uncertain. But here is the truth. This weakness is not only age, it has a name: sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle that steals strength decade after decade. And here is what few are ever told. The very foods that once built your muscles at 30, like eggs or chicken, no longer work as effectively at 70. Your body has changed. The old fuel is not enough. But what if there were a group of foods, familiar and comforting, that could actually outperform eggs when it comes to rebuilding muscle, protecting your bones, and restoring the energy you thought was gone? I'm talking about cheese. Not the salty, empty kind, but 8 specific varieties, each with unique proteins and nutrients that act almost like natural muscle medicine for seniors. These cheeses are rich in leucine, calcium, phosphorus, and bioactive compounds that flip your body's muscle-building switch back on. For some, they work during the day, fueling activity. For others, they work at night, protecting muscles as you sleep. And when combined, they create a foundation stronger than most powders or pills ever could. Stay with me, because today we'll uncover the 8 most powerful cheeses for rebuilding strength after 70. Foods that can help you walk steadier, rise with confidence, and feel the return of vitality. And before we dive in, I'd be truly honored if you'd subscribe to this channel, leave a like if this message resonates, and share it with someone close: a brother, a neighbor, a friend from church or your walking group. And in the comments, let us know your age and where you're watching from, because you are not alone on this journey. Inside the body, something begins to change quietly after the age of 60. Muscles that once responded quickly to food and movement start to resist. This is sarcopenia, the invisible thief of strength. It happens slowly, often unnoticed at first. A grocery bag feels heavier than it used to. Rising from the couch takes both hands instead of one. Stairs feel like a climb, even when they never did before. Doctors define sarcopenia as the loss of 3 to 8% of muscle mass every decade after 60. But to you, it doesn't feel like a percentage. It feels like exhaustion that arrives sooner, balance that wavers, a body that no longer listens the way it once did. And it's not only the muscles themselves, it's what supports them. Circulation slows, bones lose density, and joints grow stiff. All of this together creates the sense that aging has already won. But here is the truth. Sarcopenia is not punishment for getting older. It is biology, and biology can be influenced. What most people don't realize is that muscle breakdown isn't only about moving less, it's about how the body processes protein. The same breakfast that once fueled strength at 30 no longer has the same effect at 70. The body's ability to absorb and use amino acids weakens, leaving muscles hungry even when the plate is full. This is the silent diagnosis: muscles fading, not because you lack will, but because your body needs a different kind of support. And the hopeful news is that the right foods, especially certain cheeses, can send the signal your muscles have been waiting for, helping them respond again and slowing the loss you thought was inevitable. For many older adults, the decline in strength doesn't come from a dramatic fall or sudden illness. It comes from ordinary habits, repeated quietly, day after day. One of the most common is believing that eating the same foods that worked decades ago will still be enough. Eggs, chicken, or the occasional piece of fish may have once fueled growth, but after 70, the body struggles to unlock their full power. Without adjustment, muscles remain undernourished even when the plate looks full. Another silent mistake is avoiding dairy altogether. For years, people were told cheese is only fat and salt, so many seniors pushed it aside. But in doing so, they also pushed away one of the richest natural sources of high-quality protein and micronutrients the body desperately needs to fight sarcopenia. Not all cheeses are equal. Some truly are little more than fat, but others contain the precise proteins and compounds that act like natural muscle protectors for seniors. Ignoring them means missing out on some of the simplest tools for resilience. Nighttime is another hidden enemy. After dinner, the body often goes 8 to 10 hours without fuel. For someone over 70, that fasting window is when muscle breakdown accelerates the most. Without slow digesting proteins, the body pulls amino acids from its own tissue just to survive the night. Waking up weaker each morning isn't just a feeling, it's biology at work, and it can be changed. And then there is variety. Too many rely on a narrow, repetitive diet. The body craves a spectrum of nutrients: calcium, phosphorus, leucine, vitamin K2, each playing a role in keeping muscles, bones, and circulation alive. Without them, progress stalls. These mistakes aren't signs of failure. They are simply the result of not knowing. But each of them silently accelerates the loss of strength and independence. And the hopeful truth is that reversing them does not require drastic measures. It requires choosing differently, with knowledge, replacing what's missing, supporting what's weak, and trusting that the body is still able to respond. What if the answer to sarcopenia wasn't found in powders, pills, or complicated diets, but in foods that have been with us for centuries? The truth is, certain cheeses contain a combination of proteins and nutrients that eggs alone cannot provide for the aging body. These cheeses are not just flavor, they are tools for survival, delivering fast and slow proteins, essential amino acids, and minerals that help muscles rebuild even after 70. The first is ricotta, a cheese born from the whey left behind after other cheeses are made. That whey protein is quickly absorbed, flooding muscles with amino acids within minutes. For seniors who struggle with digestion, ricotta is gentle, creamy, and easy to eat, making it a perfect morning ally. Then there is cottage cheese, rich in casein protein that digests slowly, releasing a steady drip of amino acids through the night. For older adults, this is crucial, protecting muscle during the long fasting hours of sleep. Gouda adds a unique gift almost no other food can match: vitamin K2. This directs calcium to bones instead of arteries, preserving bone density while keeping blood vessels flexible. Provolone combines protein with healthy fats and B vitamins, giving the body not just building blocks but also the energy to use them efficiently, preventing the fatigue that steals afternoons from so many seniors. Swiss cheese brings probiotics, vitamin B12, and zinc, nutrients that sharpen memory, improve digestion, and support the immune system, all of which indirectly protect strength. Gruyère offers one of the densest protein profiles of any cheese, nearly rivaling meat, while pairing it with calcium and phosphorus to guard bones from fractures. Romano, concentrated and rich, delivers powerful doses of protein, vitamin A, and B12, though it must be used in moderation because of its salt content. And finally, Parmesan, the king of cheeses. With more protein than eggs and a unique richness in leucine, it directly activates the muscle-building switch even in bodies resistant to growth. Aged for months, it is also easier to digest, making it both potent and gentle. Together, these 8 cheeses form a toolkit. Some act quickly, some protect through the night, others strengthen bones or circulation. Each plays a role in keeping muscle alive. They are not luxuries, they are weapons against decline. David was 74 when everything changed in a single moment. A fall left him unable to walk on his own. For weeks he sat in a wheelchair, staring at the ground, wondering if life had quietly decided to shrink his world to four walls. His family feared he would never regain his independence. The muscles in his legs felt like they were disappearing, and even his spirit seemed to fade. But then came a small shift, so small it almost seemed laughable. Instead of chasing powders and pills, his breakfast was changed. A serving of protein-rich cheese was added each morning. At first, David doubted. How could something so ordinary matter when his body felt so broken? Yet within days, he noticed subtle changes. His stomach felt lighter. His energy rose just enough for him to try standing longer. Weeks passed. Muscles that had been silent began responding again. His grip grew steadier, his balance firmer. Slowly, he moved from wheelchair to walker, from walker to cautious steps on his own. After months, the impossible had happened. David was walking again. Not as if he were 30, but as a man who had reclaimed the right to move freely, to live with dignity. What mattered was not the cheese itself, but what it represented. The right protein, delivered in the right form, unlocked what his body still remembered how to do: heal. His story is not one of miracle, but of biology, fueled by nourishment that worked with his age, not against it. David's journey is a reminder for every senior who feels trapped by weakness. The body has not given up. It is waiting, quietly, for the signal to rebuild. And sometimes that signal comes not from something exotic or unreachable, but from a food as familiar as cheese, placed on the table with intention. Growing older often feels like a story of subtraction. Less strength, less balance, less independence. Many accept this decline as if it were unchangeable, believing the best years are behind them. But the truth is more hopeful. The body is not broken. It is not finished. It is simply waiting for the right kind of support. Sarcopenia may be real, but it is not destiny. What David's story and countless others shows is that renewal does not always come from dramatic interventions. It can come from something as simple as a change at the table. A spoonful of ricotta, a bowl of cottage cheese before bed, a sprinkle of Parmesan over vegetables. These are not luxuries. They are signals to the body, reminders that it is still capable of repair, of growth, of strength. Every muscle fiber carries memory. Every bone still responds to nourishment. Even circulation can be revived with the right nutrients. What feels like loss is often only neglect, and what seems gone can return when the body is cared for with wisdom. Aging does not erase vitality. It only shifts the way we access it. And the most powerful truth is this: you are not too old, and it is not too late. The foods you choose today can change how you stand tomorrow. Independence is not behind you. It is still within reach. If this message spoke to something you've been quietly living with, the heaviness in your legs, the weakness in your grip, the loss of confidence that came with fading muscle, thank you for staying until the end. It matters. Because what you've heard today is not just about cheese. It is about remembering that your body still responds, still repairs, still knows how to grow stronger when you give it the right support. 8 simple cheeses, each with a unique gift, can become more than food. They can be the bridge between decline and resilience, between fear and confidence, between limitation and freedom. Whether it's ricotta in the morning, cottage before bed, or a sprinkle of Parmesan to finish a meal, these choices send your body a signal. You are still capable. You are still alive. You are still strong. If you found value here, I'd be honored if you would subscribe to this channel. It helps us keep sharing messages of hope and truth for seniors everywhere. Please leave a like if this story touched your journey, and share it with someone you care about, maybe a brother, a neighbor, a lifelong friend, or someone from your church or walking group. You never know whose life could change with one simple choice. And in the comments, tell us, Which of these cheeses do you already enjoy? Have you noticed a difference in your strength or energy? Your story matters, not just for you, but for others who will see it and realize they are not alone. You are not too old. It is not too late. Your body still remembers how to heal. Sometimes it just needs the right food to remind it.